What's up there, everyone? Derek here with Tap and Turn Gaming, coming at you today with a little bit of a review, I guess you could call it. I don't know what we technically call it, but I guess review is the best thing we can really say. But we're going to be taking a look at the newest set, Aether Revolt, the legends that we got from that set, as we are a predominantly Commander channel or EDH based channel, so we want to take a look at the new legends we were giving and see how we sort of take them. Aether Revolt was kind of cool because it did give us 6 new legends, one for each color, I guess you could say, with Hope of Ghirapur being colorless, almost being looked at as a 6th color by some people, though it is just colorless. One thing I do think Wizards dropped the ball on, and I think they really did, was that Aether Revolt and Kaladesh had that new mechanic for energy, and none of these legends deal with energy, nor do the legends from the other set, Kaladesh. I think we really had the ball dropped on us, where there's all these cards that generate energy and no legend that can really go bananas with it. But anyways, let's take a look at the legends we have here. So up first we have Barrel, Chief of Compliance, or Baral, is a 2-cost 1/3 human wizard who says instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, so that's awesome. And whenever a spell or ability you control counters a spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. I think this guy is pretty good for a mono blue control deck. I also think he fits well into a lot of blue shells in the 99. Overall, I'd say he brings a lot to the table. He gives you a loot effect whenever you counter a spell and the ability to make your instants and sorceries cost less to be able to counter those spells more frequently. And I think that's just, it's really good for you. I do like what he or she brings to the table. Like the art, I like that it's a human wizard. So being a wizard brings a lot to the table because it's a pretty strong tribe. Being blue brings a lot to the table because you get great colors. And then reducing the cost of your sorceries and instants, as well as being able to loot when you counter something. Overall, I think it's a really good legend, being as a deck on itself or as part of the 99. Up next we have Hope of Ghirapur. Hope of Ghirapur is a 1-cost 1/1 Thopter with flying, and you can sacrifice Hope of Ghirapur until your next turn. Target player who is dealt combat damage this turn by Hope of Ghirapur can't cast non-creature spells. I really like this card a lot. I think it's better in the 99 than it is on its own, but a 1-cost general can always be very potent. But the fact that you can sacrifice it when it deals combat damage to prevent them from casting non-creature spells is also very powerful, especially if you have some repeatable kill on the board. You know, if you have something down like a Lux Cannon and like a Contagion Engine, so you can kick off Lux Cannon every turn, and you can just kill creatures as they cast them, and then every turn sacrifice your Hope of Ghirapur and resurrect it to attack again, you can really just completely lock them down. So I think he brings a lot to like a, he, she, it, I don't know. It brings a lot to the table as far as something you can do with like an artifact control, colorless artifact control, which is pretty nice, and it's not something you see super frequently. So I like that for it, and it does fit very well into the 99 as well. Up next we have Karizev, Skyship Raider, a 2-cost 1/3. Is this another 2-cost 1/3? Yeah, 2-cost 1/3 and a 2-cost 1/3. That's pretty interesting. This is a pirate. I think it's the actual first pirate we have. As far as I can remember, there hasn't been another one. And this one also has a monkey. So now you have a pirate with a monkey. It's just getting crazy, Wizards. You're getting crazy. And it's a raider, so it makes sense. But she has First Strike and Menace. Pretty fun. It says whenever Karizev, Skyship Raider attacks, create a legendary 2/1 red monkey creature token named Ragavan that's tapped and attacking. Exile the token at the end of combat. So essentially she comes down with 3 power, and that's pretty cool. The monkey itself doesn't have any kind of evasion or anything, but she does. She has First Strike and she has a Menace, so I think it's pretty cool. I don't think she's overly powerful. I probably wouldn't play her in the 99, and I probably also wouldn't play her as a commander. I think she's kind of poor in general. I mean, I think she only has that dollar price tag solely because she's a pirate and people want to go with like a pirate tribal or somehow attempt to, or make a pirate theme deck or something. I don't think she's really that good. I could be completely wrong, but you know, who knows? We'll see. Then we have Rishkar, Pima Renegade. Excuse me. Rishkar is a 3-cost 2/2 elf druid, mono green. So being green, great access to colors. Being an elf, great access to a tribe, and being a druid, also great access to a sub-tribe. Really good stuff all around. Then the abilities are, when Rishkar, Pima Renegade enters a battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on up to each of 2 target creatures. Each creature you control with a counter on it has tap to add 1 green to your mana pool. So overall, I don't think this card is super amazing powerful. I do like the ability that all your creatures with counters on them get the ability to tap to add green to your mana pool. What's cool about that is it just says each creature you control with a counter on it. It doesn't say a +1/+1 counter, so charge counters. I think blood counters from one of the old vampires, but charge counters, 1/1 counters, -1/-1 counters, anything like that. Any kind of counter you can put on them in really any shape or fashion will let them have the ability to tap to get a green. That's pretty cool. And also, you can put the +1/+1 counters on himself. It doesn't say other target creatures; it just says up to. So you could put them right on himself and make him a 3-cost 4/4 that you cast on turn 3, and then he can also tap for mana. I think he fits better in the 99. I don't think he makes a standout general. Just my take on him. I think that he runs more of as a support card. I think when he comes down, you can give your guys some +1/+1 counters. Go ahead and make them able to tap for mana to be able to play your other spells. I think he really lends himself more to being able to go ahead and be support. I don't feel the greatness within him. Up next, we have Saram, Senior Edificer. This is a 2-cost 2/2, so it's bear size. And he's a dwarf advisor, so being a dwarf is cool. Get that dwarf theme going on. And it says, whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. Now, this guy is probably what I think is one of the better legends from the set. Because whenever you cast an aura, you draw a card. Whenever you cast an equipment, you draw a card. Whenever you cast a vehicle, you draw a card. The vehicle thing may not be as relevant for EDH, but the equipment and the auras are great. So in the 99, this guy provides great support. But as the general, he provides a great Voltron general. So, you bring him down as a 2-cost 2/2. Next turn, you cast a sword, you draw a card. Turn after that, you cast a sword, you draw a card. Turn after that, you cast boots, you draw a card. Like, he's just going to keep replenishing your hand as he gets more powerful. And same thing with auras as well. So you can play him as an Enchantress style deck. You can play him as a Voltron style deck with equipments. I really think he is probably what I view as being the most powerful of the new legends from this set. Being in white, he does have access to a fair amount of removal, a fair amount of sweepers, land destruction. Like, there's a lot of things that white brings to the table, as well as now having solid card draw if you build around him in the proper manner, and I think that goes a long way. Then we have Yahenni, Undying Partisan. Yahenni is a 3-cost 2/2 Aether-born vampire. Now, technically, Aether-borns aren't male or female, so please excuse me if I say he or she. They are genderless, so I don't want to use the wrong pronoun and upset someone, but I may just refer to it as a he or a she just in the context of conversation. But Yahenni has haste, is a vampire. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Yahenni, Undying Partisan. And sacrifice another creature, Yahenni gains indestructible until end of turn. So those are some really, really cool abilities. It's a very Thraxmunder or Grim Grin ability where whenever the opponent has a creature that dies, you get a +1/+1 counter on it. So that's cool. Has haste, also fun. A vampire, great tribe. And then you have a free sack outlet to make it indestructible. And for those of you who don't know, Wizards is actually going to stop producing Regenerate and just replace it with indestructible. So what they're going to stop doing, you won't see creatures with Regenerate anymore. What they'll have instead is indestructible till end of turn. So you can pay a certain amount of mana and they'll gain indestructible till end of turn. And that's because people have found it too difficult to explain Regenerate and the rules of it and the tapping of a creature that regenerates. And it's just become too complicated for people, especially newer players, and indestructible is more user-friendly. Which is why speculation, you probably will never see a reprint of Wrath of God or Damnation ever again, because they don't want to print Regenerate or cards that don't let you regenerate anymore. Just my speculation. Side note, just saying. But anyways, Yahenni is a 3-cost 2/2 vampire. I personally think better in the 99. But I also think it could really head up its own deck. But you have to support it with something like a Butcher of Malakir, so when you sacrifice or they sacrifice a creature, which is actually part of the way I'd build it. I'd build Yahenni with Grave Pack style effects like Grave Pack, Dictate of Erebos, Butcher of Malakir, so I can sacrifice a creature to make Yahenni indestructible, but they also sacrifice a creature which clears the way for me while also making Yahenni stronger. and I think that's really, really good. I think that's the way you have to do it with your Henny, is really just go with a sacrifice theme, and punish them for your sacrifices and things like that. But overall, I'd say Yenny probably fits better, in my opinion, in the 99. But I could also see Yenny possibly being a general. So I would say, out of all the new legends, I think that I believe the most powerful one to be a general on its own and the leader of a deck is SRAM. Followed up with a strong second by Barrel, and then your Henny. While I wouldn't probably play Rishkar or Karizev or Hope as generals, I'd play them all in the 99. So yeah, if I had to rank them from most powerful to least powerful, I'd say SRAM was 1, Barrel was 2, Yenny was 3, and then these 3 sort of tie somewhere in the middle in the end. But I really do like SRAM. I also think it's fun to have a dwarf. I don't think they get enough love, so I think that's pretty cool. But that more or less wraps up my review. Let me know what you think. This has been Derek with Tap and Turn Gaming. Please like, comment, subscribe, and crush that notification button so every time we bring out a new video, you can check it out. But yeah, these have been the Aether Revolt legends, the 6 new legends brought to us by Aether Revolt. I like the fun little symbol that came out right here as was one of each color, which I also think was another thing that Wizards did that was pretty cool. Was they perfectly balanced it with one of each color and a colorless. No multicolored, just that's what it was, and I really appreciate that. I thought that was pretty cool. But again, yeah, now I'm just rambling. But this has been Derek with Tap and Turn Gaming. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll get back to you later. Thanks a lot, and goodbye.